Hey everybody, this table here is our kitchen table, our dining room table, and I built it out of my grandfather's workbench. Grandpa Frank meant a lot to me, and when I did it, I used some cedar fence posts and I ripped them basically into a C Pac-Man looking shape, so they just sat down onto the butcher block. Alright, and then I drilled holes and used dowels and pegged them into place, and then I pegged them to each other, so the whole top is no fasteners. And then the biggest hole saw at the time was a 2 1/8 inch. So I drilled 2 1/8 inch holes. You can see that screw's not really holding anything down because I turned the legs on a lathe. Alright, and I made shoulders in those legs and put those at 2 1/8 inch, and then I drilled these in as wedges. So because everything was pinned together, I knew that this wasn't just going to split any more than it already was. All right. I attached a plumbing flange for our paper towel holder, and it can be removed for playing cards or whatever. But it's never really been finished. I know I need to put more urethane, more of that two-part epoxy clear on there to fill up these edges. And there's some silicone in there, and I just noticed today that I've got some edges peeling because it was so thin around the edges. My goal at this point was to put some pictures or maybe some old tools of Grandpa's into the table and then clear over them. And I made this engraving in memory of my grandfather, Frank John Platty. And my business name is F.J. Platty Services. That's where that comes from. February 20, 1911. He passed away 4/5/04, but in the heat of the moment or my nerves, I couldn't remember that March was not 4. That should be April, so I have to fix that. I'll see you again, T-Bird. That was his name. I love stovepipe. That's what he called me, stovepipe. This has bugged me. I know it's hard to see. This has bugged me for a long time, and I kind of haven't finished the table because of that. And this table is his stains, his oil spills, his paint droppings from his workshop, and I'm so proud of it. But I'm ashamed of that. So I've been stewing for years of how to fix that. And today I started picking away at some of these chipped spots, and it's time for me to do something. So hope I don't wreck it. I hope I can fix it in an honorable way so I can finish Grandpa's table. So right now, while Riley's doing her schoolwork, I don't know if this is a good thing to do or not, but I've been trying to think of, should I use a high-speed grinder and try to cut all that urethane away, get down to the wood, or what? But I liked the way that this razor blade cut through this. It was almost like it cut it like it was a hard rubber or a hard plastic, and it peeled it away. So without trying to wreck anything, that's what I'm going to try to do is cut that out. and that way I can get some, I don't know, motor oil and make another stain with some Q-tips or something, and kind of make that blend and match, and then I can re-engrave April and finish this table. So I realized that it's hard to control when this wants to release, and I'm cutting a little farther away than I need to. I'll probably end up cleaning out quite a bit of this clear, and I'm hoping that once it lays back into that void, that you almost won't even notice unless you know what you're looking for. But I think I'm going to go get me a sharp chisel, or even just get a screwdriver and sharpen it into a chisel and shape it so it can clean that out with a little bit more control. See how that works. Well, I feel like I'm getting somewhere, but I don't know how deep that is. I don't remember what the thickness of this clear coat is. I never measured it, obviously. I just poured it on. There's some spots I feel like might be thicker than others, but I'm just going to keep on chiseling away and wiping it clean and waiting for a sliver of wood to come up. Unfortunately, I think I need to get below this top of the wood because I need to get all of this urethane out of the letters. So I'm just going to keep on digging, keep on smoothing, maybe even get it wet and see what it looks like once, you know, this is kind of imitated. And I'm just going to keep on rocking. All right, well, I keep on getting what I feel is closer and closer, but I got a wet paper towel here. I'm going to put some water in there, I guess, and just see. So I can tell that I've got some marks. So my thought is that even once I get the clear in, it's going to have a lot of stress on that spot. So maybe I'm going to try sharpening this screwdriver chisel. It's one that I had from another project a long time ago from doing some woodwork, and I had to have a certain thickness groove, I guess. So I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to put a new edge on this with the belt sander and keep working and see if I can make it so it's got no white lines anywhere. And I'm wondering also if I were to run like a little torch over that, just a butane torch or something, if that would warm things up. Maybe I'll try it on some of my shavings. I'll get a heavy shaving and put it on a piece of metal or something, and then warm it up with that butane torch and see what it does. All right, well, I've got some shavings here on this license plate, and I've got a little turbo blue butane torch, and so I've got it turned all the way down right there, less flame, and I'm just going to see what happens. Of course, it doesn't want to light now. There. And of course, it just melts and stinks. Okay, that's not gonna work. Next I might try a heat iron, or maybe a hair dryer even. Alright, well, I'm finally getting to the point where I'm touching wood. See that dirty spot there? And I'm hoping that I can kind of peel some of this up. Obviously, I don't want to peel up the edges, so I might score it once I get to that point, and just work slowly, as slow as a cub bear with boxing gloves can, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, my next idea is to do a little wet sanding. I got some 600 and 1,000 and 1,200 and 1,500 and 2,500 all the way up to 3,000. I doubt I need that much, but maybe I'll just get some scratches out. I'm down to the wood. You can still see March, but if I can get that smoothed out to the point where water makes it transparent, then I will work on doing some blending of colors. I don't know if I'll get some, dark paint and some water and mix it and just dab it in. I know all this oil has had many a years to soak in, so when I cleared it, there were some spots where it was still shimmery from the sun bringing the oil out. I don't think that'd be a great idea to oil it right here and have less to stick. So I'm gonna try paint. I don't know. All right, quick update. I did 600 grit, and then I did 1,500 grit, and now I'm at 2,500 grit. But before I did that, I took some Rust-Oleum Anita's all-purpose acrylic paint, and I just dabbed that in, got the paper towel wet, rubbed it around, dabbed it a little more, and whatnot. And that's been a couple hours. So I'm just wet sanding and polishing kind of the dull scratches out that I've put in around this area. But when it's wet, you can't see any of that. So now I just need to, I'm going to work around all these edges, work this area right here, and get the paint off of the clear coat and hopefully keep it just on the wood below. And maybe get everything wet and just see what it looks like before I engrave again. And I'm hoping that I can, just by touching up the paint that's around here, I'll kind of weather that wood without wearing all the paint off. That's my plan, at least.